So in today's video, we're going to talk about the Caitlin Clark cult. First of all, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of hers. I love watching the WNBA, and it started because of her. She's very entertaining to watch. Beautiful girl. So I'm going to get into talking about a lot of things in this video, but at the very end, I'm going to do a test to see if you are a supporter or are you a worshiper. And I don't, whatever. If you want to worship humans, that's cool. I'm not going to judge, but I just want to make it clear there's a difference. Not every Caitlin Clark fan, not every fan, period is the same. There's a huge difference between supporters and worshipers. We see this with in politics with certain politicians. Not going to get too much into that, but so let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. So as a Caitlin Clark fan, I really, what I'm saying? This isn't really a big deal at all. This is really not much of a big deal. But I'm not going to defend, you're wrong, though. She's wrong here. I'm not going to defend her, though. That's the difference. I have no problem with this. Something like this would never change me from, not being a fan of someone. If anything, what I'm saying? I like her passion for the game, but I'm not going to defend this. You're wrong here. It is what it is. But let's take a look at some of these comments. Let's see if we can find cultist mentality. You got 100% correct. The W officials are terrible. Okay, you're wrong. You're wrong, man. You're wrong. You tell them, Caitlin. Nope, you're wrong. Don't do that. Let's see what this follow-up comment said. If someone else did that, you would call. Thank you. Look at this person. This person said if someone else did that, you would call them a malcontent, you people. Exactly. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Someone else says there's a reason they are this bad. They are the NBA rejects. So this is, what I'm saying? This is wrong. All this defending a wrong action. She was right. You're wrong. This is all just if you're a competitor and very passionate on what you do, incompetence is inexcusable. So you're defending a wrong action. Like I said, I'm a Caitlin Clark fan. I don't mind this. I kind of like this. It shows who she is, and I have no problem with it. But let's just stop with this fake image. This fake image of, complete innocent person. She doesn't she deserves every call. She deserves to get. What I'm saying? Let's stop with this nonsense. Let's stand up for what's right for a change. I'm seeing this all over the country. We're not standing up for what's right, and that's why. That's why I'm looking at some. Anyway, I'm not gonna go too deep into that. But she told the truth. BS. Come on, that's not damn right. So here's the problem. You go, girl. Why are we defending someone? I'm sorry. Why are we? I have an issue with this. Why are we not doing this for every person? Why are more WNBA players not saying this? You guys are so bad. All of a sudden, when it's her, the calls are bad. All of a sudden, because of her, she wants the call, but no one else gets the call. You know what I mean? So there's a privilege issue here, and I have a problem with that. That's everybody wants that for her, but I love her. But when you're wrong, you're wrong. I love Caitlin Clark, but the Fever just blew a 31-point lead. There you go. This is honesty. And look at all these hate comments. 10 likes, 10 replies. You see what I mean? Let's take a look at this. So we got, but still one. Emerson, but they did win, thankfully. Coach fought. Yeah, see, look at this. Coach fought. Everything's the coach's fault. She is killing them. No, shut up, man. You don't know what you're talking about. This is all just nonsense. Gotta be kidding me. It doesn't matter what coach they have. If they let's say they fire Christy Sides, for example, get another coach in here. What do you think's gonna happen the next time? Oh, this coach is even worse. Get Christy Sides back. I'm saying? It's always gonna be a thing. They're always gonna find someone else to blame. That's the problem. It's someone else's fault now. So you get the picture. You can go. Okay, guys. So we're gonna do the test right now. I'm gonna play you a few clips. You tell me what you think, and I'll determine. Let's do the test right now. Okay. So is that a foul? There's people. You know what I'm saying? People are disagreeing. That's not a foul, or they're trying to deflect blame. Bottom line is, when you're right, you're right. When you're wrong, you're wrong. It doesn't matter who you're a fan of. Now, if you're part of a cult, they have that cult mentality, The person's always going to be right no matter what they do, and that's what you call, like that's what you call worship. Let's see if there's any cultists right here. So I'm going to take a look at this. The old rake the eyes move. Ric Flair would be proud. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's a joke or what, but her eyes was okay. So look at this. Look at this. Her eyes was okay. Her eye was okay as soon as the foul was called on Caitlin Clark. That's cultist mentality right there. Like, instead of just taking accountability, nope, her eye was okay afterwards. No, it's a foul. You're wrong. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. They all had their hands on Caitlin Clark the whole game, holding and everything. I don't get why they don't call this foul. So instead of taking accountability, you just blame. So blame deflection. That's a really good one. Cultist mentality. All these players need to stop grabbing and holding. That's cultist mentality right there. They've been doing the same thing to her. Cultist mentality. I'm glad she's getting more physical. Did someone actually say that? I'm glad she's getting more physical. Everyone always says, "Oh, the W is physical." Blah blah blah. That's just nonsense. Like, come on, dude. What are you talking about? You're glad she's getting physical, so you're glad she's slapping people in the face. You're dumb for that. So interesting. The refs should say contact to the face. Caitlin Clark, instead of saying contact to the face by number 22 on the Fever. So yeah, just comments like this, like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, this is what you call a cultist mentality, and you see it all the time in these comments. It's actually pretty insane. Let's see if there's anything else. She straight grabbed her arm, though. See, look at this. This is zero accountability. This is what's wrong with this country. We're not standing up for what's right. We're just going for, if you like someone, they're right no matter what. Like, it's just ridiculousness. How the F was that attack on Kate? Was this supposed to be to get out of the armbar? Not whatever it says, just nonsense. How the F is that a foul on Caitlin? Like, what are you talking about? That's just complete nonsense. Stop grabbing Caitlin Clark. This is cultist mentality. Like, you guys are. So this isn't fandom. This isn't just regular fandom. This is like some kind of sick obsession. Where, like, and you see this with, it's not just with her, but you see this with everybody. Like, why isn't that a clear path foul? So you're blaming her for that. Like, I think I saw one comment a little while ago, but it's just, you see what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculousness. But let's go ahead and move on to the next clip. Oh, by the way, I found that ridiculous comment. They've been doing the same to her all year. Really? They've been slapping her in the face all year? I don't remember that, but okay. Just ridiculousness. All right, guys, we're going to watch this next clip. I'm excited. This is like I'm watching the film. I love this, but let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. So she's frustrated there. No problem with that. I have no problem with that at all. It's normal to be frustrated. So let's go ahead and continue. So we're going to get to it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, so this is live national TV. They admit that it was warranted. I have no problem with this, honestly. I really don't. Like, this is what I love about Caitlin Clark is she has fire. She has passion. She's just aggressive, but I'm just tired of like this fake image of her. Like, I love the real person of who she is. She's not a fake. Like, she kind of. I mean, in the media they try to portray her as this like darling and she's all sweet and roses and stuff like that. No, this is what I love about her. This is the real Caitlin Clark. But am I going to sit here and say that's not a foul? That's ridiculous. Of course, it's a foul, and she deserves like Luka, like anybody else that complains. Like, everybody complains. I have no problem with that. This is a foul. She paid for it with the technical. All right, so everyone knows that Caitlin Clark, she's earned everything she has. She's earned the contract. She's probably going to be Rookie of the Year. She deserves that. She deserves to be an All-Star, all that stuff. But one way you can recognize someone that's probably a cultist. The first example is going to be glory stealing. So what you see in the comments, like a lot of times, like in YouTube videos or wherever online, you'll see someone, like you'll see a video of Asia Wilson, for example. You'll see a video of, maybe it's Angela Reese or maybe it's someone else. You'll see people in the comments. They'll say stuff like, well, she wouldn't even be getting this recognition if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark, So they always like try to bring it back. They try to steal the glory from the other person and bring it back, which isn't necessarily false, but that's how you know someone's probably more of a worshiper than a supporter and a fan. Like it's you take the glory, you take the spotlight away, and it always has to be on Caitlin Clark. It always it can't be on anybody else. No one else gets credit for anything. So that's the first example. The second example is blame. So blame is obviously like if something happens, like they lose the game, you'll see this happen a lot. So all of a sudden the coach is terrible. The coach can't coach. He needs to get out of here. So if you see this online where you see like the coach needs to be fired, someone makes a video about the coach just sucks, needs to be terrible. You weren't making this video last year. You weren't making this video about any other coaches because I guarantee you don't watch any other coach in the league, so you don't know how you can't compare her to the other coaches because you're only paying attention to, and you're probably not even watching the games, you're probably watching the highlights anyway. But that's one thing you'll notice is like the blame goes to someone else. It goes to the coach. It goes to the other teammates. It goes to they can't catch a pass. They can't defend and blah blah blah. There's always like blame going somewhere else. But we don't do that for any other great players. Like you never said that when LeBron James lost the finals. He lost to the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant. All people said was, you got to win that game, if you're the, one of the greatest players of all time. So I don't do excuses for great players, If you're a great player, I have to give her the same respect as other people. Yeah, so blame doesn't necessarily mean that you're, you're a cultist, but, it most likely means that, you could just be like a hard supporter, but still, not all of this necessarily means that you're, a human worshiper. And then calls. You always want the calls to go her way. If it's a call, like if it's a clear foul, I'm gonna show you an example later on. You always try to find like, well, no, that's not a foul, but clearly it's a foul when someone else does it, but it's not a foul when she does it. So this goes for anybody. Like if you're a fan of anybody and you're always rooting for a foul, that I do the same thing, but like there's certain situations where the call is just so obvious. Like you can't. It gets to the point where you can't defend, and we're going to get into this later. I'll show you some clear examples of what people were saying. The other thing is personal shots. So you'll see this a lot. I've heard people like with the Kennedy Carter thing. I can understand that. She bumped Caitlin Clark aggressively. I still think Caitlin Clark flopped a little bit, but either way, because that bump was hard, but it wasn't hard enough to knock someone. But anyway, we can get into that all day. But personal shots, you'll see people say like, oh, well, they're racist, they're all jealous, they're all haters, they're woke and they're lesbians and blah, blah, blah. Like you just see like all these negative comments. It's actually pretty horrible and pretty toxic. So that's one reason I don't even look at the comments anymore because it's disgusting. Like I'm a fan, but it almost makes me ashamed to be a fan of hers because of just like the disgustingness that, I associate with because like I'm also a fan, but I just need to make it clear I'm not one of those. There's a difference between like fans that are reasonable and fans that are just as you can see on the bottom right, worshipers. It's a big difference. So the other thing you'll see you'll even see this like in the media a little bit too. You'll see a little bit of bias, and this isn't anything new. This happens to like a lot of great athletes, like Tom Brady, for example. Like for example, we've seen this for years with Tom Brady. Tom Brady will lose a game. It's never Tom Brady's fault. It's always about the defense didn't play well, even though the defense has been playing well for years for the Patriots. That's why they won most of their Super Bowls. It's mostly because of the defense and Tom Brady. It's a combination. But all of a sudden, when the defense doesn't play well, they get all the blame. Tom Brady gets all the so it's the same thing with Caitlin Clark. She gets all the. People don't want to give her any accountability. She's perfect. I don't see her as perfect. I see her as just like any other great player. Like if she loses, I give her blame for the loss. If she wins, she gets the credit. So there should be like a lot of balance. But you don't really see that a lot. But you'll see this in the media where they'll say something like, first rookie. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some legit stats that I see that are very impressive, but you'll see like stats like this, like the first rookie to have at least 15 points and at least 8 rebounds and 7 assists on a Friday night, and you know what I'm saying, like in a Friday night game since 2022. Okay, great. Why are we making up all these stats? We don't do this for any other great player. Like I said, I love Caitlin Clark. She's great. She's the reason I watch basketball, on the women's side. But I'm someone that's reasonable. I look around, I see like, okay, I give credit to other people. This Aaliyah Boston, she's amazing. Asia Wilson, she's the best player in the league. You got Angel Reese, she's doing great things, averaging a double-double. You know what I mean? Like, it's not all about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fair, objective person, and one thing you see with this, cult that's going on is there's no objectivity. It's almost like I hate to see it, but I was gonna say, never mind, forget it. I'm not gonna get into that, but it's like one of those things where it's like super privileged. Like you want her to have an Olympic spot. Now, don't get me wrong, she has. Like, if she was on the Olympics with the way she's playing now, yes, she deserves to be on the Olympic squad. But the way she was struggling before, like they made the right call because she didn't have to. She wasn't really adjusting to the physicality of the game at the time. Now she's perfect. She's playing well, but at the time they wanted to just give her a spot on the Olympics. Like, first of all, I know what she's done for the sport, but she got paid for that. She got that $20 million Nike deal. Like, you get paid for that. You're getting the credit you deserve. You got everything you deserve, but it doesn't mean we're just going to keep giving you everything, because that's what you call privilege, and that really taught me white privilege at the end of the day. Like, I'm not saying that's what's going on, but that's what the cult wants for her. They want like this privilege that she hasn't earned. She's earned everything else, don't get me wrong, but like to just give you an Olympic spot, to just give you the MVP, to just give you Rookie of the Year. Now, Rookie of the Year she probably deserves at this point. I still think Angel Reese has a great case for it too, but we're not going to get into that. And it's not a skin color thing. Trust me, I'm not biased in that way at all. So, hey guys. So the only reason I'm showing you this clip is because I want you to realize, as part of the test, but I also want you to realize why she doesn't get certain calls. I have no problem with it. Like I said, like my favorite player is LeBron James. My favorite NBA player or favorite basketball player, period, is LeBron James. He flops all the time, but let's not pretend that she doesn't flop, because she does. And I want you to show. I want to show like why she doesn't get certain calls and why, it's almost like a disrespectful in a way to refs, because referees are thinking like, oh, so you disrespect me enough, you're trying to fool me into falling and stuff like that. So like this is why she doesn't get more calls, and this is why you shouldn't freak out if you see someone bump her, like with the Kennedy Carter situation. If you see someone bump her and knock her down, don't start saying, oh, they're racist, they're a hater, they're blah 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 blah, it's thug ball and woke league and all that stuff. Like, oh, stop all that nonsense. Like, the only reason I'm showing you this is because it's going to be a flop. Like, if you see her get knocked down by someone, chances are it's going to be a flop, and this is why she doesn't get more calls. But let's go ahead and play this.
Quickly, just very explosive. And then this is the foul. Oh, man, really? Well, that's a foul. I mean, Caitlin Clark has to have the ability to rise up and...
So you hear the Miller ref, right? He's like, really? He's reacting. He's probably reacting to the the fake fall. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's reacting to the flop. This was actually a foul. If you look at watch Caitlin Clark's hand. See that? Her hand gets hit right there. You see that? So that's a foul. But did she? But was that a necessary fall? No. Like, she clearly fell, and then now she has you fooled though to think that, oh my gosh, she fell. They're playing thug ball with her and blah blah blah. That's a flop. It's a real foul, but it's also a flop. So let's show that one more time. I saw this live because I watched the games live. Like I said, I'm a fan, but I'm just not delusional. Let's check that out again.
So quickly is very explosive. And then this is the foul. Oh man, really? Well, that's a foul. I mean, Caitlin Clark has to have the ability to rise up and come down.
And that's what it is.
Check to the elevated because you have to give a shooter the space to land. So
yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Like at the end of the day, you know, she sold it. I mean, she didn't. I mean, it was a foul. But at the end of the day, let's not pretend she's a flopper, because like she flops. And like I said, my favorite basketball player is LeBron James. He's the king of flops. Let's not pretend that she's not the queen of flops. Like it's part of their game. It's, you know, if I was playing, I'd probably do the same thing because I want to sell the call. But referees are going to see that as, okay, you're trying to fool me. We're not going to give you every call, and that's just what it is. Like, so let's stop pretending that there's hate all the time. Like, this isn't hate. It's people want her to have like certain advantages over other players that other players aren't getting, but all of a sudden when it's her, they want her to get all these calls. They want her to get you know, everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. She already got paid for everything. She got the contract. She got you know, she's #1 pick. She's going to be Rookie of the Year. She's an All-Star appearance, but let's stop pretending that everybody hates her and it's, you know, it's a negative thing. Like everyone's like out to get her. That's just nonsense. You know. So, but anyway, I'd love to get your take. Are you a real fan? Are you a cultist follower? I'd love to find out either way. This video is probably not gonna, you know, be popular among a lot of people, but I don't care. You know, I just believe in honesty. I believe in standing up for what's true. And like I said, I'm a huge Caitlin Clark fan. I love her. But I'm not going to defend what's wrong and what I'm going to defend. Yeah, I'm not going to defend what's wrong. I mean, but it doesn't make me like her any less. But I'm just saying, let's stop pretending and let's stop, you know, seeing this fake image of someone that's just not there. You know, she's a cool girl. You know, I like her. She's my favorite WNBA player. But let's be realistic. Let's not be delusional. So anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video, and peace.